Welcome back to my channel Evolve with Haj. I am your mentor Hajira Nasreen and I have over 16 years of teaching experience. Dear learners, in my previous videos I have already discussed some of the most important topics for the KSET exam with SMART strategies like SDG and MDGs, research, its types and tools. These are all the areas where you can definitely expect questions in your upcoming KSET examination. The main purpose of making these videos is to extend a little help from my side to all the aspirants out there. So dear learners, if you find my videos helpful in your preparation, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. In this video, I am going to explain regarding comprehension. Read smart, score sharp, grab 10 marks from comprehension in a blink. So, three most important tips from my side. Read the questions first. Read the questions first. Glance at the questions before reading the passage to know what to look for. The second tip, don't overthink. That's stick to what's stated or implied in the passage. Avoid bringing in outside knowledge. The third and the most important tip is to manage the time. Please, dear student, allocate not more than 10 to 12 minutes for this section to stay on the track. Okay, these are all the three important tips. And while answering, stick to the passage, eliminate extremes, time yourself. In this video, I have given two passages from KSET 2023 and 2024 papers. So begin with the 2024 passage first. So dear learner, in this passage they have given regarding Rabindranath Tagore. So first I'll show you the questions. See, this is the passage and I'll show you the questions. Based on this passage, you have to answer 5 questions. They will assign the questions from 21 to 25. You have to answer with the help of the passage they will give. Okay, so the first question is, what according to the author contributed to Indians forming ideas about the foreigners? This is the first question. Second one is, what was lacking in the educational system of that time according to the author? The third question is, why did Indian leaders believe that the English will give freedom to our country? The fourth one, which quality of the English impressed the author? And the last question is, why was the author influenced by the speeches of John Bright? So dear learners, in the first question they are asking about the forming ideas about the foreigners. So let's go back to the passage. I'll read it out for you. Today I, Rabindranath Tagore, complete 80 years of my life. Just a minute. As I look back on the vast stretch of years that lie behind me and see in clear perspective the history of my early development, I am struck by the change that has taken place both in my own attitude and in the psychology of my countrymen, a change that carries within it a cause of profound tragedy. Our direct contact with the larger world of men was linked up with the contemporary history of the English people whom we came to know in those earlier days. It was mainly through their English literature that we formed our ideas. Dear students, you can see the first question they were asking regarding these ideas. Let's go back to the first question, what they have given. What, according to the author, contributed to Indians forming ideas about the foreigners, right? What are all the options? English rule, English literature, administrative system, economic development, right? So look at this. It was mainly through their English literature that we formed our ideas with regard to these newcomers to our Indian shores. So, which is the correct answer? Option number B, English literature, right? B is the correct option here. English literature. Okay. Read the second question as well. What was lacking in the educational system of that time according to the author? Educational system. Okay. Dear learners, no need to read whole passage at once. You can divide it into the based on the questions. See, we were here, right? In those days, here, in those days, the type of learning that was served out to us was neither plentiful nor diverse, nor was the spirit of scientific inquiry very much in evidence. Okay, we didn't got anything from here. So, what are all the options? Yeah, here. What was lacking in the educational system of that time? Yes, this is the correct sentence over here. See, in those days, the type of learning that was served out to us was neither plentiful nor diverse. This is the correct option, right? So here you have to tick the third one, this one. This is the correct option, right? And let's read out the third question. Why did Indian why did Indian leaders believe that the English will give freedom to our country? What are all the options? They ruled us for a long time. They provided shelter to many political leaders from around the world. They wanted to go back. They ruled many parts of the world. Let's see. Freedom to our country. See? And the next para, the first sentence is related to our question. This belief was based upon the fact that England at the time provided a shelter to all those who had to flee from persecution in their own country. Political martyrs who had suffered for the honor of their people were accorded unreserved welcome at the hands of the English. So, this is the proper sentence from here to here, right? So, which is the correct option? They provided shelter. Option number 2, B, here. So, the next question is question number 4. Here it is 24. Which quality of the English impressed the author? The options are imperialist attitude, national pride, cultural orientation, liberal humanism. Let's check where it is. See here. Hmm. About this time, as a boy in England, I had the opportunity of listening to the speeches of John Bright. Right here, I was impressed by this evidence of liberal humanity in the character of the English, and thus I was led to set them on the pedestal of my highest respect. So, by their liberal humanity, author got impressed by Englishmen. So, The fourth one is the correct option. And the last, why was the author influenced by the speeches of John Bright? The options are because his speeches were relevant beyond national boundaries, because his speeches were in fluent English, because he spoke about the welfare of the English people, because he always supported the freedom of other countries. See, in the last lines of the last paragraph, they have given here John Bright. This is the name, right? So here we have to look for. I had the opportunity of listening to the speeches of John Bright both in and outside Parliament. The large-hearted radical liberalism of those speeches, overflowing all narrow national bounds. See, this is the important keyword. Had made so deep an impression on my mind that something of it lingers even today. So, the correct option for this is first one, because his speeches were relevant beyond national boundaries. So, dear learners, this is the process how to answer all the 5 questions correctly based on the passage. This is from 2024. Okay, let's consider the 2023. It is from 23. Okay, first let's go to the questions. Here it is. First question is, see, they have given answer the following questions, comprehension questions from 16 to 20. These many questions you have to answer based on the passage. So the first one is 16th one. How many important causes does the author list out as responsible for the complexity of the intellectual life of the 19th century? How many, right? Okay, you have to find out for the number. Then the 17th one is, which area of the world became more aware of the Indian philosophies? Okay, and the next 18th one is, what according to the author altered the social structure of the 19th century? 19th one, who began the rationalistic revolt according to the author? And the last question is, what does the author say about science in the 19th century? Okay, these are all the many questions. Let's go back to the passage and read it aloud. Before that, how many important causes does the author list out as responsible? Okay. The intellectual life of the 19th century was more complex than that of the previous age. This was due to several causes. This is due to several causes. Here it is first. Highlight that. The area concerned was larger than ever before. They are not asking about the causes. They are asking about the number of causes. So highlight here, see, first, second, here it is third, and this is fourth. Check for any other number. Is there any number? No, right? So they have given only 4 causes. So which is the correct option? Fourth one. 4 causes. The correct option is second one. Right? The second one is the correct option. Okay. Then recall the second question. Which area of the world became more aware of the Indian philosophies? Okay. Which area? They are asking about the area now. The area concerned was larger than ever before. America and Russia made important contributions, and Europe, here is our keyword, Europe became more aware than formerly of Indian philosophies. Here, learners, this is the keyword, right? So, you have to take Europe here. Europe is the correct option. Let's go to the next question, 18th one. That is, what, according to the author, altered the social structure of 19th century? Where is the 19th century in the passage? In the beginning. See here, 19th intellectual life of the 19th century was more complex than that of the previous age. Right? What they have given in the options? Power structures, cultural systems, machine production, physical environment. Alter the social culture. Okay, here it is. See, machine, here it is, machine production, right? Third one. Machine production profoundly altered the social structure. The direct answer, right? So this keyword is here. So in this question, the correct answer will be machine production. Hope you people are following me. If you have any doubt, please comment below, or you can reach out through my channel. I'll provide my contact number. If you have any doubt, you can call and get it clear. Okay. So the next question, who began the rationalistic revolt according to the author? The answers are Mussolini, French philosophers, English radicals, Nietzsche. So let's see. Here it is, revolt. See. This revolt had two very different forms, one romantic, the other rationalistic. The romantic revolt passes from Byron to Schopenhauer and Nietzsche to Mussolini and Hitler. The rationalistic revolt begins with the French philosophers. Here is our keyword. So the correct option is here, French philosophers. They're asking about the rationalistic revolt, not the romantic revolt, right? So the last option is, let's go through the last question. What does the author say about science in the 19th century? The options are, it had been the chief source of novelty. Novelty andre hosatana, newness. It lacks moral responsibility. It is the chief source of destruction. It supported the established system and institutions. Let's see. Science in the 19th century. Okay, this you have to answer based on the passage. Once you go through the whole passage, you will get to know what they are talking about. So, based on that, science which had been a chief source of novelty since 17th century, here it is. So, here the science. This is the correct option. It had been the chief source of novelty. The first option is the correct option. So these are the two passages I have given from 2023 and 2024 paper 1, that is general and a common paper for all the subjects. Dear learners, if you find helpful, please do like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through the comment box, or I'll provide my number in the comment section. Thank you. Happy learning. And also in my next videos, I am continuing the question paper 2024 from 11th to 20th question. I'll discuss in my next video. So stay tuned and happy learning.